Yo, what's good, my wolf pack? Alpha the pack right here. And today in this video, man, I want to talk about this topic that I saw on Twitter, this discussion that I saw on Twitter, yo. And basically, this person was all like, this is an unpopular opinion, but I believe anime should not have become mainstream. Now, when I saw this, I thought about it for a second, and I was all like, I love anime. I love manga. And more than likely, if it was not as big and as popular as it was, I probably would not have found I probably would not have found out about all of these cool stories, all of these amazing characters. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, I was all like, "What are you talking about? What is what's your issue, right?" And so basically, people were saying that because anime is so popular, that people are using it to, they're trying to use it to, they're trying to use it in a means to extend their agenda. They're trying to use anime to like justify their beliefs or something along those lines, right? So you see, and I've seen this a lot on Twitter, right? You'll have all these politicians or whatever try to talk about how terrible anime is, how it teaches young kids and teens violence, how it encourages violence, how it encourages sexual behavior, how anime and manga teaches pedophilia and all that. I've seen all that stuff. I've seen a lot of people say that about anime, right? And then there's a lot of people who try to push their venomous views on anime, talking about how certain manga artists, how certain writers shouldn't draw female characters a certain way, even though it's their characters, it's their story. Basically, people try to control what manga artists do, what manga creators do, and they try to dictate what their story is like, and they try to use their anime to push this false narrative, try to put anime manga in this negative view, right? And from that standpoint, I guess I understand, and I do find that annoying because every now and then I would see somebody talk about how anime encourages pedophilia, and I'm like, I will slap the hell out you, like dead ass, like I will slap the hell out you. And I think it has a lot to do because there's lollies, and if you don't know what a lolly is, just look it up. There's lollies, basically a character that looks super young, right? And they basically say that if there's a lolly, they're sexualizing children, even though there's legitimate people that look like kids that are whole grown adults. There's real people who look like children that are whole grown adults, right? And that's just like the case in these stories, right? That's just the case in some of these manga stories, right? Where there's characters that look young, that would look childlike, and they'll be an adult, right? So people really love to use that as a debate for, oh, manga and anime encourages pedophilia. It was like, bruh, nothing. Nobody encourages pedophilia. Nobody normal, anyway. It's just overall a real stupid argument. And I want to talk about something. I really want to talk about something. Well, first of all, let me say this, right? They also like to say that anime and manga like also encourages people to like look at porn and hentai and stuff, which it doesn't. People do that of their own free will, and they say like it, and they say like just like if you watch too much porn, you start to view women in a negative light, and just like they would say like if you watch a lot of hentai, you will start to look at children in a sexual manner. And I'm like, first of all, bro, let me say this: if you start to feel like some type of way towards kids and you don't try to curb that, if you don't try to put a stop to that, if you don't try to seek some sort of help, then you have no one else to blame but yourself if you end up getting stumped out, arrested, or potentially worse. You got you got no one to blame but yourself, because at the end of the day, you have control over yourself. I don't want to hear, oh, I couldn't control myself. You have control of your own actions. Another stupid argument. And this is something I want to talk about, bruh. A lot of people, when it comes to the seven deadly sins, a lot of people call characters like Ban and Meliodas pedophiles, right? I'm not sure if I can go into any much further detail without spoiling the show, the manga, if y'all haven't seen it. But Bond's love interest is this fairy woman named Elaine. She's like 3,000 years old, but she looks childlike, I suppose. And a lot of people call Bond a pedophile because of how his love interest looks. Even though she's like a part of the fairy race. She's over 3,000. People like to call Bond a pedophile because of how she looks. And with Meliodas, people started calling him. Now this is a major spoiler. I don't even know if I can mention this. Meliodas' love interest is Princess Elizabeth, and people call him a pedophile because, man, this is a major spoiler. Y'all might not want to watch this video if y'all don't watch the Seven Deadly Sins. Um, People call Meliodas a pedophile because his relationship with Princess Elizabeth, who's his love interest, basically Meliodas is cursed with immortality. He can't die. If he does die, he will immediately be brought back to life, right? So it's basically a never-ending cycle of death and rebirth. It's kind of like of death and rebirth. It's kind of like how Zareth can't die. Meliodas, even if he dies, he immediately comes back to life, right? And in Princess Elizabeth's case, she is of the goddess race, and Meliodas is of the demon race. And then because they love each other, they was placed with the curse. And Meliodas was cursed with immortality. And Elizabeth, Princess Elizabeth, is cursed with always being reincarnated. So every time she dies, she forgets she forgets her past. She loses all her memories, right? Specifically the ones of Meliodas. And if she ever regains her memories of Meliodas, of being a goddess, she will die in like 3 days. So Elizabeth, she is cursed with death, basically losing her memories, and she is constantly reincarnated. So neither Meliodas or Elizabeth knows peace, right? And with Elizabeth, she comes back at a variety of different ages, whether it be an adult, teen, a child, a grown woman. She always comes back, and a lot of people think Meliodas is a pedophile because there was a few times where Elizabeth came back as a child, right? But it's not like Meliodas was all like, "Oh, I'm going to try to smash a kid." He looked after her. He always looked after Elizabeth, but it was never he never pursued like a relation with her. He never pursued like a relationship with her. If anything, he tried to keep his distance from her. He tried not to get attached to her. It's not like he was like, oh, she's. I'm gonna try to get at that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just stupid, bro. It's real. It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm relatively new to the Seven Deadly Sins fan base, but I can only imagine what it was like to hear to hear like, oh, Ban and Meliodas are pedophiles for years on end. I would have lost my mind, bro, because it's such a stupid comment, my nigga. At the end of the day, this is fiction. It's not real. Nobody encourages people to go out and try to smash children, even though Elaine and Elizabeth aren't. And going continuing on with this, dog. Continuing on with this, I want to talk about Persona 5. All right, specifically, yeah, Persona 5. I want to talk about Persona 5 in a specific character in Persona 5. Alright, I'm gonna talk about Kawakami. Okay. So skipping over Kawakami's story, even though her story is tragic, right? Um, in the game, you can pursue like a relationship with Kamakami. Yeah, you play as Joker, and you can pursue a romantic relationship with Kamakami. She's your high school teacher, right? But here's the thing: when you're in a relationship, and this is just like a side romance thing. It's just like for the game only. It's not even. It's only in game. It's not like it's in an anime. It's not like it's in the manga, right? This is only like a side game thing, right? So here's the thing: even when you're in a romantic relationship with Kawakami, she even tells you like she's not gonna do anything. Y'all can go on dates, but y'all not gonna do anything like explicit until you like graduate high school, right? So basically, y'all just kind of like friends with benefits, right? And so there's people that calls Kawakami a pedophile because because she dates one of her students, which is Joker. But the thing is, it's not like she's a damn Kamoshida who abused his students and legitimately try to force Anne to give him sexual service. It's not like she's a Kamoshida who legit did terrible things. Kawakami cares about her students. She's like a mother figure to her students, right? She's not no Kamoshida. She's a caring, kind individual, right? And if you take the time to invest in her story, you would know how much of a tragic character she is. All right. So while you can pursue a romantic relationship with Kamakami, it's not like, oh, she's a pedophile because while you can go on dates with her, she's like, oh, we're not going to take this relationship to anything more seriously until you graduate, which I think is perfectly fine. And I got into an argument with some clowns on Twitter talking about how there were these clowns on Twitter were talking about how she's a pedophile and how she shouldn't have did that. I'm like, bruh, it's not that deep. It's fiction. It's a game. And even if something like that was happening in real life, it shouldn't really be that much of an issue because, like I said, it's not like anything sexual took place. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she set the ground rules down for that. It was like, yo, not until you turn like 18, this relationship can't go further. You know what I'm saying? But what nigga didn't want to get at their teacher when they were in high school? Like, if they had a good looking teacher, what nigga didn't want to get at them? I had teachers I wanted to get at. You know what I'm saying? So it's stupid, dog. It really is. I hate those comments. And so, with everything that I've said, I can understand why some people say that anime and manga shouldn't become mainstream because people try to push their little agendas on it and try to turn it into something that it's not. I can understand that. But at the same time, man, I've met so many cool people, met a lot of good friends, because of anime and manga. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't change that. I love anime and manga. If anime and manga wasn't as big as it was, I probably wouldn't know about all the amazing stories and characters that I know about now. That I know about now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I knew about. I guess you could. Was anime really mainstream in the early '90s and early 2000s? I guess you could say, oh, everybody knew about Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, in terms of more serious stories, not a lot of people knew about those, you know what I'm saying? And because of how popular it is, I got to branch out into more, I guess, adult-like serious stories and find out about all these amazing worlds, man. And I'm thankful for that. You feel me? But I don't know, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Do y'all think would y'all say anime and manga shouldn't have become mainstream now because of all of these issues? I don't know. Y'all let me know. All right. Peace out, my wolf pack. Your alpha has spoken.